Well, good day everybody, and welcome to my channel Whiskey Journey. Firstly, apologies guys. I know that my uploads recently have been quite sporadic. That's simply due to the time of the year. This time of the year is always the worst time of the year for work-related things. And that will continue for the rest of December and into January. So yeah, do apologize for the scarcity of the uploads, but I will upload reviews when I can. Okay. So yeah, so we're looking at a bottle of rum today, and this particular bottle right here. So this is from the distillery called Caroni. Caroni is a closed distillery. I believe they closed in 2002. Over the last few years have become quite expensive, the bottles. But this particular bottle here from Master of Malt is probably the cheapest bottle you can find of Caroni at the moment, in my opinion. So I'll just give a bit of information on the bottle first. So, as I said, distilled at Caroni Distillery in 1997, aged for 22 years in a refill cask, 405 bottles, bottled at 60.9% ABV. So quite strong. The bottle on my left here is for my next rum review. This is also from Caroni, and this is a Velia bottle. Very, very different profile. Although these two rums have similarities, this one is completely different in my opinion, and I do look forward to trying out or sharing my review of this one for you guys. I would say out of the two bottles, this one is definitely more accessible, in the sense of, not so much accessible, but I think for anybody that's not used to Caroni rum, definitely recommend probably this one first before you go on to this one. Okay. Right, so I have played around a bit with this bottle. I've tried a few drams at least, and I'm going to be trying it with water, because I do feel that this dram does benefit with some water and also time in the glass. This has been sitting now for about 20 minutes or so. So let's just, and I prefer it on the Copita to the Glencairn. So let's just get straight onto the nose first and see what we get. Right, so first of all, beautiful caramel toffee notes, comes across as very sweet. There's obvious oak influence, so definitely some woody notes with old leather, that sort of old leather armchair sort of smell to it. There's pineapple for sure, so some a little bit of sharpness from pineapple, but also quite fruity as well. Other fruits are a bit difficult to identify, but yeah, that toffee note is beautiful. There's some cherry there too, some berries, and in the background you get a hint of rubber, almost like tires, that sort of smell, but it is very much in the background, it's not up front. Brown sugar, definitely. Some vanillas. Yeah, olives as well. I get, I think, black olives. Yeah, it's not green olives, definitely black olives. A bit of earthiness and a bit of mustiness too. And very slight sort of industrial notes as well, almost like petrol, gasoline. There's menthol for sure, mintiness. So really quite a complex, at its full strength, quite a complex dram. Very different rum to anything else I've tried, to be absolutely honest, and just very, very interesting. So it's got a beautiful nose. Yeah, beautiful. Right, let's just have a wee taste first and see what we get at its full strength. Lots of spice in the finish. And lots of leather as well, lots of sweet leather. Okay, so just picking apart the dram at its full strength. I would say viscosity is medium. It doesn't come across as really full-bodied, but medium-bodied. But then when it hits the palate, it bursts of flavour. Very similar to what I get on the nose. Lots of toffee, caramel, berries, fruitiness, there's some pineapple. Mid-palate is when the oak starts to take over a wee bit, so getting those wood tannins, and then leather right in the end, which with the spices, cloves, which just give it just a bit of a lift, in my opinion, just make it feel quite aged. There's a herbal quality now coming out in the finish. That menthol, that mintiness I got on the nose, definitely now in the finish. Almost like toothpaste. Yeah, minty freshness. Bit of pepper. Comes across as a little bit hot at its full strength, so I'm going to add some water. And spoiler alert, I have found that this does benefit with water. So it swims very well, in my opinion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drops of water. Just bring that strength down a wee bit, just so we can get some other notes. Right. So let's just see what we get on the nose with those 8 drops of water. Still getting that caramel note, that toffee note that's been pushed ever so slightly. Black olives now definitely coming out a lot more, but there's sharper notes like berries. Yeah, just that toffee note, that caramel note is just lovely on this. Even with the water, it's still there. Definitely a bit more industrial notes coming out now, some more gasoline, petrol, that sort of vibe. A little bit of treacle as well, molasses. Yeah, I just think it benefits with water. And the nose is lovely at its full strength as well, but I think, having tried this several times now, I think that the palate is definitely going to be better with the water. But let's just try it and see what we get. Now I'm getting more dirtiness and rubber in the finish. That for me is better. So viscosity is actually thick. The liquid is actually thickened up quite nicely with those few drops of water. So better viscosity in my opinion, more full-bodied. Still loads of that caramel toffee with some pineapple, other fruits. It does come across as quite sweet, but then sort of mid-palate again is when the oak starts to take over a wee bit. Probably a bit less oak now with those few drops of water, which is not a bad thing, in my opinion. Hints of leather coming through as well, quite a lot of leather actually. But then you get that sort of, that industrial character, so there's a bit of petrol, but that rubber note really comes out with water. I didn't get it too much on the palate at its full strength, but that sort of burnt tire sort of note, a bit of smoke as well on the end, just a little bit of smoke. That minty freshness I was talking about at its full strength still there. Very, very interesting rum, guys. And yeah, it's just a lovely finish, just keeps on going, sorry. Just a very interesting rum, and probably not a rum that I would have every day. I think this one, I think oxidation is going to help with both these bottles. But as far as Caroni goes, this is actually my first one, and as I said before, I've done comparisons between these two bottles. As I said, this one I will review next. As I said, this one I'm just sipping on now, I would say that this is probably one of the better bottles you can get for beginners, because having tasted this one is a far, far dirtier profile. Far more rubber, far more gasoline, petrol, machine shop, that sort of vibe. Lower strength, but the taste lingers in your mouth with this one, in my opinion, a lot longer. Definitely brush your teeth before you go to bed if you've had a few tots of this one, because all you'll taste in the morning is rubber. It's got a very potent sort of finish that just stays and stays, and much like the Hampton Spirit, it sticks to your tongue, and you get that flavour. In the next morning, you'll still be tasting Hampton. You'll still be tasting this one, in my opinion. This one, not so much. So I think this one is definitely more accessible for people that aren't used to having Caroni rum. Whereas this one, I would suggest working up towards this one. And if you prefer the dirtier profile, or a dirtier profile with more of those strange industrial notes, then this one is definitely a decent bottle, in my opinion. Okay, but I will review this one next. But as it stands, this one from Master of Malt, I mean, taking into account its price, which is not cheap, however, it is the cheapest bottle at the moment of Caroni. The only other one that I've seen is a 16-year-old cask strength Caroni by Ancient Mariner, but it's only a 50 cl bottle. So if you take it if you add on the extra 20 cl to make it a 70 cl bottle, it comes out quite a bit more expensive than this one. So if you're interested at all, check out Master of Malt. They currently do have this, and they have it, it's a lot cheaper than what it normally would retail at. So I would say if you're looking at getting into Caroni, wanting to try Caroni, I think this is a perfect bottle. And then once you've got, if that's kind of your style, or if you enjoy it, then you can move on to something like this, or some of the more dirtier Caronis that you can get. Okay guys, so yeah, as I said, highly enjoyable bottle. Definitely not one I would drink every day, but very different to all the other rums that I've got. That menthol toothpaste note is just continuing now. I can still taste it, along with that leather as well. Okay, alright, so as I said, guys, that's my review for Master of Malt's Caroni 22-year-old, bottled this year at 60.9% ABV, and highly enjoyable, excellent bottle. Okay. Okay guys, so if you enjoy my content, then please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. It is always appreciated. But as usual guys, there's nothing much else to say except have a fantastic day, and I'll see all of you again soon. Take care. Cheers.